Hey guys, and welcome back to Gregtech New Horizons. As you can see here, there's been a few changes around this base. I've been doing some thinking of how we want to have this base laid out. I think it's important to get this down early, but it's something that I think we'll come back to and we'll talk a little bit more in depth later on. But last episode was our very first GTNH stream. Thank you so much if you tuned into that. We used the live stream to start preparing for the LV age, which is something I think we'll get to today. We've also moved all of our storage outside to this area of the base. It still could do with a few upgrades and some more drawer additions and work tables, but overall it's much more organised and much more expandable than it was before. Yes, I know, the outside looks garbage, but we're gonna fix it. Oh, and also this thing here, yeah, we don't talk about that. Anyways, the plan for today is to access the LV tab of our quest book and enter tier 1. Hello spiders. And a creeper. These guys love it up here. We're gonna let them be. Alright, so first thing we're gonna start with today is batch crafting up some electronic circuits. First thing we're gonna need for this is some tin wires. I don't want to do too many of these because this is a very inefficient way to make wires. Then we have to alloy smelt this with our rubber, which we did batch craft here during the stream. This takes some of our sulfur, which we found in the nether last episode, along with some raw rubber dust, which we are extracting from rubber wood here. So both the wires and the rubber go through our alloy smelter. Oh, and we can now run more machines at once as we have now upgraded to the high pressure solar boiler. This thing can give us 360 litres per second of steam, whereas our old simple solar boiler only outputs 120 litres per second. So that seems to be enough to keep at least a few of these machines running at once. Nice, our first insulated tin cables. Oh, wait a second, I was wondering why we weren't getting the quest for this. This is apparently a crafting task. So I'm assuming it wants us to make it with this recipe here in the crafting table. I really didn't expect the manual crafting recipe to be more efficient, but there we are. Next thing we're going to need is some copper wires, red alloy wires, and I think it's some more tin wires. And my goodness, are these machines slow. I mean, like 40 seconds per recipe here, 20 seconds for the rubber. Yeah, we have to keep these things going at all times. Alright, some red alloy wire, some copper wire. Actually, that's nowhere near enough. I think we need 24 for the quest. And some extra tin wire. Okay, with our wires we have to make two things here. We have to make resistors and vacuum tubes. There are multiple ways to get resistors, and eventually we can get it in the assembler. But for now we have to either use slime or resin, copper wire, fine copper wire, and some form of coal dust. Since all of our resin is currently in the extractor, let's do a little quick harvest of our rubber trees here. Alright, 37 resin, that should be enough for us to get started. Again, we maybe should have used the tree taps for this, but the rest of the rubber wood we'll put in the extractor. So we'll craft up our sticky resin together with, I think we'll use lignite coal for this. There's not much other use for this, so we'll use this to make our 4 resistors. Quest calls for 2, we make 4. Next up is the vacuum tubes, and for this we're going to need some glass tubes. And more waiting on machines, 24 seconds per recipe. Pretty much all of the LV machines are going to require us to have steel ingots, so let's make sure we also keep this bricked blast furnace going. And in fact, I think today is also the day we add a few more of these things. Hello spider, you're not mad are you? Nah, we're chilling, we're chill. And with a little bit of extra crafting, there is our first vacuum tubes. Quest asks for 2, we're going to make 8. Actually we can't make 8, we can make 6. And we'll claim 2 more for free for the quest. Now then, final part before the circuits is the circuit boards. Yeah, it's 6 resin and 3 planks for 3 coated circuit boards. Then we turn this with some copper wire into coated circuit boards. Ideally we want more than 1, but this is a lot of copper wire to use. We're definitely going to need some wire cutters before we can get a wire mill. Alright, the final component of the circuit, of our first circuits here, is the steel casing. And with that we can craft our first 2 electronic circuits. Oh yeah. Now this deserves some fireworks. That was a lot of crafting right there. First of many, I assume. But we are not finished there. We still have a few more components left before we can get our first LV machine. Alright, so after a crazy amount of crafting, we have the LV age unlocked. We unlocked the next tab in our quest book, and I've started crafting up some electric pistons. We made the basic steam turbine, which is how we're going to generate the first power, and I believe I have all the rest of the materials in my inventory here for the first LV machine, the bending machine. I really wanted to rush this thing, and even the quest book recommends this is going to save us an enormous amount of metal. So we need this thing combined with our steam turbine in order to power this. For right now, all of our LV machines are going to be tucked away in this corner here. I think we're going to be moving them today anyway. But we are going to swap out this small bronze pipe with a regular. I hope the bigger sizes can connect to smaller sizes. Yes, they can, nice. Hook this up to our tank. Run some steam along to our turbine here. Put the bending machine on the turbine, and this should be producing some power for us, hopefully. If we connect it up. There we go, we're spinning. Nice. Yep, this guy is filling with steam. So now let's say we want to make some copper plates. We are missing a circuit. Of course we are. Yeah, we need a programmed circuit for this thing. So I think we're only missing some red alloy wire, or cable rather, for another electronic circuit. So I ended up making some more of these work tables here. These are going to be super useful for all this micro crafting in the beginning here. And then I think this is just a shapeless craft for a programmed circuit. And copper plates look to be on circuit 1. Your thumb is not a screwdriver, okay. This is not Community Edition. We have to program them manually, I think. Yeah, so these programmed circuits can be any number between, I think it's 1 and 24. Yeah, something like that, and each will correspond to a different recipe output. But in this case, we want the 1. Now, can you make us plates? Yeah, nice. And it's 1-to-1, so it's 1 ingot for 1 plate. But let's not do that with all of our copper, because we're actually really low on copper. And for what we have planned today, we need a lot of copper. So you might have seen there that I did actually go mining for copper. And we seem to get none of it because we were at the bottom of the vein. We pretty much only got iron from that trip, so we're going to have to somehow find another copper vein somewhere. Yeah, this one here has only tiny amounts left in it. We are, however, up to almost 700 iron, which, again, is probably not going to last with what I have in mind today. Oh, and another LV loot bag. A darkwood more redstone torches. Alright, so the next machine I think we're going to make is the Wiremill. It's going to be a lot more craft in here. Hopefully we have enough copper for this. Like, the main thing really is our copper. But once we have the wire mill, we can make copper wires, I think 1-to-1. Or is it 1-to-2? Yeah, it's 1 ingot for 2 copper wire. Wait a second, I just went to make some more copper plates here. And I realised that there is this new feature in this version of the game, where you can actually set the programmed circuit directly within the machine. And I think it still works. Yeah, that is awesome. Well, that at least allows us to get a free circuit back. And means we only need 1 more for the wire mill. Oh guys, I don't know if we can afford this, to be honest. This is this is our last pieces of copper right here. Yeah, we don't have enough copper for this. I was able to make the motors. We have 1 circuit. To get another circuit, we need some more resistors, and this is a lot more copper wire. So one thing I noticed here in the LV tab, there's a quest for copper here for tetrahedrite, stibnite, and copper ore, which is found in the nether between Y80 and 120. We are definitely going to need some tetrahedrite later on for antimony, which we can use for batteries. So rather than jump into the nether and wander about aimlessly, we're going to invest in this ore finder wand. So to use this thing, I think we can shift right click the ground, put in 1 piece of copper ore, and this should alert us whenever we're nearby to tetrahedrite. So I guess this doesn't really remove the need for us to wander about, but at least this is going to tell us when we're close. So we have to be between 80 and 120. We're currently at 56, so yeah, we're way too low down here. That is a big spider. Stay away from me. Oh, that was... Okay, I was not expecting that. Let's run. Oh, that was scary. Oh, we're starting to get small ores here. I think that means we're close. Lava. Lava. Oh, our wand's telling us something. Are we in the ore chunk? That looks like copper up there to me. So apparently the pigmen are not happy with this. Well, this looks at least relatively safe, and we have plenty of tetrahedrite and copper mixed in here. Alright, I would call that a pretty successful mining trip. We picked up just over 6 stacks of tetrahedrite ore. And remember, these things double, so they will smelt into 2 copper ingots. Oh, you know what, actually? So I smelted down already a couple of stacks, but the rest I think we're going to put through our macerator. Now this thing is painfully slow, 40 seconds per recipe, but this will actually quadruple the ore and give us 4 crushed dust, which we can 1-to-1 with the ingots. So we have a little bit on hand right now that we can use, but the rest will be quadrupled, and that will be a much more efficient way to process it. Alright, so with a bit more crafting, we can make our second LV machine hull. We can also make up our next electronic circuit, lock it into our work table here, and finally be able to pick up our wire mill. So with the wire mill, not only can we make wires wait a second. Does this only output one side? Yeah, I think we're going to need some cable in between the turbine and also the machines. So I moved the turbine back a little bit and made up some 2x tin cables. We need some wire cutters to be able to hook them up. And I guess for now we'll just put the bending machine here, wire mill on the other side. So now, not only can this thing do 1 to 2 wires, we can also put it through once more, I think, to give us 4 fine wires. Very slowly, but yeah. Oh, we're going to save so much copper for this. Nice. Alright, so at this point I'm trying to decide exactly what we should prioritise. We did get our first 2 LV machines, which should make crafting the rest a bit cheaper. However, there's one thing in common with all of these LV machines, and that is that they all require steel, at least for the machine casings. And circuits are the same, these also require a fair amount of steel. Well, I guess this is only 1 plate. But we do also require the steel rods for the vacuum tubes, so I guess it's 3 steel per circuit, and then 8 for the machine hull. And we're down to 40 steel ingots, so I think it's time for another blast furnace. These things, yeah. So while I was waiting on some machines processing, I did clear out this backyard as well, where the drowned creeper got us, as well as gather some more sand and clay to be able to make up coke oven bricks. As you can see here, we have 1,000 in this chest, so we're going to be going crazy with the coke ovens. And the coke ovens will be used not only to support these bricked blast furnaces, but we will also be setting up some boilers to be able to produce some more steam to actually be able to run these LV machines. Relying on those high pressure solar boilers right now is fine, but it means that we can only have one of these things running at a time. So those are the 2 huge projects that we're going to be taking on here. Not sure if we'll get to that today. More spiders on the roof. But yeah, first is this blast furnace. So there's actually a quest here for another bricked blast furnace. The quest book does recommend this. We need another 24 of these fire bricks. I'm sure you guys remember the recipe for this thing. We're going to need to mine some more gypsum, stone dust, quartz sand, clay dust, and calcite dust for buckets of concrete. And also more fire bricks from some more clay dust and more brick dust. Alright, so after some crafting and gathering, we have everything we need for the concrete in this chest. Probably should have thought about the location before I placed it here, but we need access to water, which is on those tanks over there. And through in our machine room here, we have the last of the fire bricks being compressed. At least I hope so, I didn't actually count, so we may have to make some more, but yeah, we got plenty of clay dust here. I'm also just making up some more iron plates, as we need this for the controller blocks. But with all these new multi-blocks and machines, we have to think about a layout for our base. So this is coming back to what we said earlier about the base design. We want to get this down early. I've found that in other packs that I've played, when you do temporary setups like this, when you're expanding, I find that it's very difficult to move them later on. Hello, zombie. Oh, this is an infernal mob. Look at this guy. That's what the explosions were. Look at them. Hey. Hey, you. I dare you. I dare you, zombie. You missed. Oh, and he dropped his helmet. Nice. We are now in a full suit of armor. Alright, his friends come to join the party as well. Another giant zombie. So yeah, as for this base, I'm thinking that this circle on the floor here that we've had for quite a while now is going to be our main intersection of the base. I do want this different to Divine Journey in that it's going to be more vertical than it is horizontal. Although with pollution being a factor, that may not turn out to be completely true. One thing I do know is that this space that we've got marked out is going to be too small. We need to go much bigger scale. So the plan for all of these coke ovens, we have a lot of bricks here, and I'm sure there's a quest for it actually. I'd rather not miss that, I think it's this one here. Yeah, for 260 coke oven bricks. It is a retrieval task though, so we can technically pick it up once we unlock the quest. But yeah, obviously 24 3x3 structures is going to take up a significant amount of space, at least a full chunk's worth. But yeah, another consideration is actually going to be biome humidity. So if we look on the top left corner up here, we're going to see we're at 60%. This matters because of the water collection. We're going to need water for the boilers we'll be setting up. So it would be quite nice to find... Oh, we're actually at 70 here. Yeah, this is the meadows biome. Yeah, maybe we set it up over this side. I mean, as you can see by the grass here, it does kind of flip-flop between the two biomes. And in fact, I was leaning towards putting all of the pollution over this side next to the river. But actually, since this is the meadows biome over here and we'll get higher humidity, maybe it's a better idea to stick it over this corner. Yeah, so I think a layout like this could work. I got these all centered in the chunk. And we'll do 9 coke ovens per layer. Did I build it correctly? Yes, I did. Okay. 9 more of those. Yeah, so we're left with just over a stack of these coke oven bricks. We need another 1.5 layers to take up to the 24 that I'm counting on. But I think this is going to work out okay. I'll have to gather the rest of these bricks though. As for the water tanks, well, I think we're going to have to put these up here, which means digging out this area. I guess I'll do that between episodes though. But the coke ovens is kind of thinking ahead a little bit. Let's first try to get this blast furnace up and running. This time though, we at least have this work table to help us out. So yeah, we can just lock in the recipe for the concrete and then convert this straight into the fire bricks. Oh, we have to actually put this inside, of course. Lock that recipe and then just repeat basically. Oh yeah, it looks like we had just enough fire bricks here for just one more of these furnaces for now. There's our quest. We'll also have to craft up the iron furnaces for that's the wrench gone. For the controller block, which I think is like this. Yeah, we'll just make one for now. And these blast furnaces, you guys were saying could actually wall shear, which means that you can save a full row of bricks here and effectively have 2 half blast furnaces right next to each other. And if I've built this correctly, it should still form the multi-block structure. Although the fact that I have 4 extra is not a good sign here. Oh, what did I do wrong? You know what, let's just test it out. We get 64 coal coke as the item reward for this quest. We'll also pick up the steel as the choice reward. Let's just try this out. Oh yeah, it does run. And what about the last one we built? This one is now broken. Oh no, it's not, it's just it was just filled with ashes. Yeah, so now we've effectively doubled our steel production. Although yeah, that coal coke from the quest reward ain't gonna last very long. But before we wrap up today, all of these some of the quest rewards have been given us these steam loot bags. And I have actually been saving them in this chest along with all the coins. I don't really know what we're gonna do with all of these things. However, now that we have unlocked LV, we can trade 3 of the steam loot bags for 1 LV loot bag. I think we're going to do this actually a few times. Let's see what we get. Are you? Redstone torches. I think we've had a full stack of redstone torches from quest rewards. That's awesome. Let's do it again. A bacon cheeseburger. Oh, that was not worth. That was not worth. Oh, wait a second. We get 1 more for the Wiremill quest. More redstone torches. Some tracks. Oh, the luck is terrible on these things. So I think the next thing we want to do is actually be able to fill those coke ovens. I know there's a few different methods actually for getting wood in this pack. I'm not sure exactly what's going to be the most efficient for us. If you guys have any suggestions, then let me know. But for now, we're going to keep using these bonsais, and I'll just manually fill these things. Hello. Oh, he's coming. Yeah, those creepers can teleport at you. Where is he? There he is. Stay away. Yeah, I think I'll just manually fill these coke ovens for now, just to get them going, so that we can just keep producing steel. We really just want the blast furnaces up 100% of the time. But what I'm thinking is we have some form of item pipes. I think we can use these small tin item pipes, which can transfer 1 stack every 4 seconds. And I think that'll be plenty, even with like 24 of these things. The throughput on the pipes isn't really going to matter. But to craft many stacks of these things is going to take a lot of tin plates. And I have started that process here in the bending machine, but it's still going to take a while, and we've got more crafting to do before we can get that system fully up and running. So yeah, with that, I think that is going to do us for today. We got into the LV age, which we achieved our goal. We've still got a lot of crafting to do though. We probably are going to pick up the assembling machine next episode, maybe look into the Twilight Forest. That could be really nice. We get access to some really good ore veins there. But that's something we'll save for tomorrow. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching. Take care, and I'll see you all soon for another episode of Gregtech New Horizons.